Hello and welcome to your NowSkills Infrastructure Technician Level 3 Apprenticeship. Throughout your time with us, you'll learn lots of the latest in-demand skills that will help you as you embark further into the field of an infrastructure technician.
Level 3 apprenticeship covers many different areas. The basic goal of it is to provide a good grounding in all areas of IT. So we cover kind of 5 main areas really that we're looking at. One is business. So, if you're working in IT, you need to understand how the business works. You need to understand the processes, all the things around the security requirements, health and safety, all of those type of things. We also need to start looking at things like mobility and operating systems. So an understanding of, people use different types of phones, what operating systems, whether that's Windows or Mac OS. Another couple of major components are networking. So any part of IT, there's obviously the networking element, whether that's setting up wireless access points or having to deal with domain controllers and the networking side, Active Directory, all of that sort of things. We also cover 2 other main areas. One is server and one is cloud. So the server side is really looking at setting up Microsoft Server. And then we also do, associated with that, is cloud, because the 2 things are kind of coupled together.
As one of our NowSkills learners, you'll follow a specialised 15-month learner journey, which will provide you with structure and support throughout your apprenticeship. For 80% of your time, you'll work for an employer, for which you'll be paid the relevant national minimum wage. Then, for the other 20%, you'll receive training from our infrastructure technician tutors.
So on the learner journey, the first thing that you will do is you will create a portfolio. This is actual work that you're doing on program, and you'll need to demonstrate that. So some of that will be photographing yourself doing some cabling maybe, or some of my students do videos, which is acceptable. I might do a professional discussion with you, so this is like a Q&A really, and I'll be guiding you all the time on how to do that throughout your 12 months on programme.
Once the portfolio is complete, your employer will be asked for a detailed reference, and then will come the time to sit your exams.
For the exams, we cover Microsoft qualifications like the MTA. We cover some of the City and Guilds qualifications on there as well. So once we have all the exams passed and the competencies documented, we hit that 12 months. And at that point, we go into what's called the endpoint assessment, which lasts 3 months.
Once we've triggered endpoint assessment, you will then have to do a Synoptic Project. So the Synoptic Project, there are a number of different scenarios, but they mostly last 3 days, and you'll be expected to show how you would set up a new network, for example. It might have 5 PCs in it or something like that, and then how you would actually cable that up and get it working.
After all of these assessments are complete, you will then have an interview set up with City and Guilds.
So the interview is a real opportunity for you to show off your skills based on the work you've submitted. And as part of that, we provide comprehensive interview training before the interview, so that you're able to express yourself and show off what you've really done during the year.
All of these assessments may seem daunting, but we can assure you that you'll be supported and given guidance throughout. Furthermore, once they're all completed, NowSkills will be there to give you advice as you decide on your next steps.
One of the great things about the apprenticeship that I think singles it out from just going to college is the fact that you're working with the employer, and it really is an opportunity for you to impress your employer as well as to pass the course. So if you do that, what we find in the majority of apprentices is that they are offered a full-time job with the employer at the end of the period of the apprenticeship. In terms of next steps, there's always the opportunity to move on to other apprenticeships. I see quite a lot of my infrastructure technician apprentices wanting to move into specialist areas.
So there's quite a lot of opportunities there. I can explain what it is that you can do and the kind of roles that you could go for. So you might not want to work with the company that you've just done your apprenticeship with. Maybe you want to work with a bigger one to get more experience possibly. So I've been in the industry for 30 years. So I know a lot of the roles that are out there that you could potentially do.
I'm proud of being involved in networking and IT, and I want the people who go forward to be people that are going to make an impact and make that career worthwhile.
With this in mind, we at NowSkills want you to make the most of your apprenticeship so that when the time comes to take the next step, you will be ready.